डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Welcome to Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Now in these sessions we are talking about the Swing applications development. Now what is Swing? That generally Swing is used for GUI based Java application development. So Swing is a powerful library, we can say, that we can use to develop the GUI based application in Java. So what exactly that Swing is and why do we need it? So before we discuss Swing, we need to know AWT. In the previous session we have discussed about AWT, that AWT is all about abstract window toolkit. Now using the AWT component we were developing the GUI based application, but the drawback with the AWT component is that AWT were we can say placed on the native resources, we can say underlying operating system environment. So they were consuming more memory and ultimately it was degrading the performance of the overall execution environment. So the AWT component was developed using the native environment, while the Swing components are developed purely in Java. So they are, we can say, independent from the underlying environment and they are consuming less resources compared to the AWT component. So in that sense sometimes AWT components are known as heavyweight component, as they are consuming more resources compared to the Swing components, and at the same time Swing components are known as lightweight component, as they are consuming less resources and provides better performance in terms of, we can say, the look and feel. So apart from this, we can say a lightweight component, Swing components are also providing a look and feel, a pluggable look and feel. So we can have a different environment look and feel in our Swing environment. Now the another difference between AWT and Swing is that in AWT components we were importing the package java.awt.star, while if you want to develop the applications in Swing, we will import a package javax.swing.star. So this is the biggest difference between AWT and Swing, that all the Swing components are derived from the javax.swing package, while AWT components were derived from the java.awt.star package. Now next, the difference between Swing and applet. Now what is the main difference between Swing and applet? So generally when we are talking about applet, then applet executes on a browser, okay, while so applet class was extended from the, we can say, the JApplet. Okay, when we are talking about Swings, and we will call it as a J, okay, that means all the Swing components starts with a J later. So simple applet was a we can say class was derived from the java.applet.star, while JApplet is derived from the, we can say, the Swing hierarchy, that it is derived from, extended from the JApplet itself, we can say applet class itself. So the Swing JApplet class is lightweight class, while we can say all the Swing components, or we can say simple applet class is a, we can say, heavyweight, we can say, as we already discussed, that they consumes more resources. Then after, we can say that all the Swing components starts with a J later, while the AWT component starts with, we can say, simple class name letters, like if button is then button, text field is then text field, while in Swing it starts with J text field, J button. Likewise other components can be added and derived from the Swing package. Then after, we can say that Swing components are providing a pluggable look and feel, while AWT does not have a pluggable look and feel, and we can say in a abstract window toolkit does not provides pluggable look and feel, while Swing provides pluggable look and feel. Applets are having, we can say, layouts like flow layout, simple, or we can say default layout, while the Swing is having a border layout at its default, we can say, layout for arranging the components on a container. Then after, we can say, to execute applets we need to have a browsers, while in a Swing applications we need only the command prompt, and we can have GUI based applications, we have a containers itself, we can say. To display the components on the container, we will use a frame, we can say which works same as window is having a title bar, menu bar. So we will use generally a frame containers to display the swing components on it. So these are the basic difference between the AWT swing components and applet. That applet was generally used for the web browser kind of applications, where we need to download the applet and execute at client side, while the swing applications provides all kind of functionality to develop a highly we can say efficient and attractive look and feel kind of applications using the creating the controls of swing package, and we can have a different look and feel as in when required in a swing environment. Next, now we have already discussed AWT and swing. So generally the main difference is that if you want to develop AWT applications, you need to import java.awt package, and in swing you need to import javax.swing package. Now abstract window toolkit is all about AWT, that we have already seen. Now swing is we have the basic difference is the AWT, where we can say lying displayed or we can say laid down on the underlying OS environment. So they were heavyweight components, while swing is developed purely in Java. So they are known as purely a lightweight components. Now when we are talking about components, when we are talking about we can say controls, containers, then we need to know, being a user of Java and being a developer of GUI based application using swing, we need to know the hierarchy, container hierarchy, that from which class the whole classes are derived. So at the top of there will be, we can say there is there is a topmost object class, that we all know that object is a topmost class in Java. From that class all other classes are derived. So if we are talking about we can say container in with respect to AWT or swing, then from the object class the component class is derived, and from component class we can say a container class is derived, and from the container class so container itself we can, if we are talking about container, then what does it mean? Container means which contains something, and with respect to our swing, we will say that swing is having a number of components. It may be a text field, it may be a button, it may be a checkbox, radio button, color chooser, all list goes on. So they are known as components. So generally the container class extends component, component extends object, in a reverse order. So now once again we will come back from top to bottom. So at the top there is a object class. From the object class we are deriving a component class, from the component class we are deriving container class, and under the container we can say another hierarchy is there, that there may be a different kinds of containers. So at one side there is a we can say panel, and at another side there is a window. So panel is a different container and window is a different container. Generally panel also allows us, it's a pure container, and it also allows us to contain different components, but generally it is used as a sub container for the main containers. So panel is there, and under the panel we can say the applet class is there, and the applet extends panel. At the another end we can say there is a window, we can say a window class. The window class is generally extended by a frame as well as a dialog class. So frame is a pure container which is having a title bar and menu bar. So we will generally use and mostly use a frame as a main container, main window of our swing based application, while dialog is also there. But dialog is generally we can say it is used as a pop-up window, pop-up kind of window. When we want to display certain kinds of message, then we will use a dialog as a container to display a pop-up kind of message. So generally when we are talking about a swing class hierarchy, so we being a user we must know that we can say at the top there is a object class, from the object class we are deriving a component class, from the component class we are deriving a container class, and under the container we can say two branches we can say are derived. One is towards panel and another is towards we can say window. From the window there is a a frame and dialog. At the opposite end there is a applet which extends panel. So ultimately whenever we are going to create the swing components, we will add all the components into a container, and that container will be a frame. So we will use frame as a main container for our GUI based application. We can use panel also, but panel will be generally used as a sub container to add the controls and to arrange it in a particular way. So there is a options with the developer, with the user, to use panel as a container and to add that panel into another container, in a main container we can say. Okay. Next, now the swing components we have already seen that they are lightweight components, they provides us better, we can say, look and feel. Apart from that, swing components, whenever we are creating a swing components, the component where to display that component is not in the hand of, we can say, a user. Okay, it is in the hand of user if we are manually arranging the components on a container, but generally what happens, the responsibility lies in the hands of, we can say, layout manager is there, another concept. So layout manager allows us to arrange the component on the container, that where to display a particular component. Suppose we are creating two controls, one is that label and another is a text field, then the label should be at the left side and the text field should be at the right hand sides. So if we are creating a control, we can say these controls and adding the controls directly without using layout, then there is a possibility that the expected look and feel would not be as per our expectations. So to properly arrange the component on a container, we need to use layout. So layout manager will help us to arrange the components on a container. So this is what the containers layout responsibility is, that the layout manager helps us to arrange the component on a container. So where you want to put a particular control. Okay, so there are different kinds of layout manager available. So layout manager generally falls in different categories, but mostly used layout managers are for one is the flow layout, which works in the same manner as from when we are creating and adding the components. Then if you are using a flow layout, then the flow layout will arrange the components from left to right and top to bottom. So when you are adding a component, then it will be added to the topmost left corner, then next to near to that, then next up to the, it reaches to the topmost right side, and then after it will move to the next left side of the next line. Same way, that means this is all about flow layout, a default layout from left to right and top to bottom. Another layout is a border layout. The border layout just helps us to arrange the components in different directions, north, east, south and west. So we can arrange the components in this direction as per our requirement. If your application requires such things, then we can use border layout. Another is, we can say, a card layout. Card layout is generally we can say it is all about a basket kind of things. At a time a single pen will be displayed and we can have the controls contained in that pen that will be visible to the user. Okay. So it is just like a content pen kind of things. When we click on a particular pen, that pen will be visible and the control contained in that pen will be displayed to the user. So it is all about, we can say, card layout. Then after we can say we are having a grid layout. So grid layout helps us to arrange the components in a grid manner, that means row and column manner. So when think about the calculators, so calculator is all about buttons, it is arranged in row and column manner. So if you want to develop the applications GUI applications, something like a calculator, then you can use a grid layout, a better layout to arrange this button and we can say controls on the container. Apart from that, there is a grid bag layout which allows us to arrange the components in a particular manner. So ultimately the thing is that grid layout or border layout or we can say flow layout, the layout manager is there which is responsible to arrange the component on a container. So we have to use set layout method of a container to arrange the component on a container. Then after, if this is all about, we can say, a layout manager task, but sometimes it happens that user wants to arrange the component on its own without using the layout manager. So what to do? So there is another mechanism that allows the user developers to arrange the component on the container as per his or her requirement without using layout manager. So for that purpose, we have to first set the set layout method as a null. So that means we are indicating the container that we are setting we are not going to use layout manager for arranging the component on a container. Instead, we are going to arrange the component as per our requirement. as per the user's requirement. So, after setting the set layout manager null, we will use another method, set bounds method, okay, with a particular object or component. Suppose I am creating a button object. So, button j button b is equal to new j button. So, I have created a button object b, then after I will use b dot set bounds methods, and then after I will pass the parameters, we can say x and y coordinates, that where I want to add that button objects, button components on a container on a particular pixel positions. So, this set bounds method helps us to the developer that where it wants to, he or she wants to add that particular component on a container. So, layout manager helps us to the developer or to the we can say programmers to arrange the component on a container. So, this is the, we can say, the functionality of container or layout managers. Now, the next part is all about, once we have a GUI, we have created a GUI application using the swing components like J button, J text field, J label, J checkbox, J radio button, all these stuffs, and we have a good look and feel. Then after what to do? The next task comes is all about event. So, what is an event? So, generally whenever we are performing any kind of task, whenever we starts to behave in a particular way, the event, we can say in general terms, event is triggered. When I start speaking, event is triggered as state of my behavior changed. So, if I have to describe in general sense what is an event, then event is simply a change in the state of an object. Change in the state of an object is called an event. So, whenever a behavior of a particular component or an object gets changed, that we can say that the event is triggered, event is happened. So, this is called an event. So, event happens in a GUI based applications, because once we have a good GUI, and if we have, suppose we have two text fields, number 1 and number 2, and we want to perform the operations of plus or minus or division, once we have values in the two text field and we want to display the answer in the third text field, and we have a simple button, that summation or minus whatever. So, when we click on a button, that means we can say the click is nothing but an event, that event is triggered. When we click on a text field to enter the value, that means event is triggered, because the text field focus is changed, text field has got focus. When we click on button, button has got focus. So, this is called an event. So, event and event handling is a most important task of GUI based applications, because only GUI is not meaningless. So, we have to provide, after creating a good GUI applications, we have to embed a event handling mechanism into the application, which plays a vital role in a better, we can say, application. So, better application in terms of, we can say, input and output. Okay. So, how do we provide event handling mechanism? So, there is a event delegation model, we can say, that we need to understand. What is event delegation model? So, general event delegation model is consisting of mainly two components. One is the event source and second one is the event, we can say, handler. Source and destination, ultimately we can say. One is the event source and second one is the event destination. So, source is what? So, source itself says that it is a part, it is a component, it is an object which generates an event, which triggers an event, which is responsible to trigger an event. So, when we are talking about button, when we click on button, that means button has triggered an event. So, in that sense, button becomes a source. In the same way, the destination. So, destination is what? The we can say which are responsible to handle the event. So, in event delegation model, one is a event source which is responsible to generate the event, and another is the destination that is responsible to handle the event which is triggered. So, the most two important part of the event delegation model is, one is source and second one is the destination. One is responsible to generate the event, second one is responsible to handle the event. Now, how the handler, the another question comes is that, okay, we have a source, we have a handler, but how do a handler comes to know that the event is triggered? Okay, how a button handler will come to know that button is clicked? So, for that we need to establish a communication between these two things. So, the how the communication will takes place between the handler of the event and the source of the event. So, we need a registration kind of mechanism that the listener, or we can say in technical terms, as we are talking about, we can say swing components. So, we will say that source are the objects, we can say source are the objects like button, text field, checkbox, which will trigger generate the events, while the handlers are the listeners, which will listen continuously for the event, and if the event triggers, they will get the notifications from the source that event is triggered, and it is my task to handle that event. So, what are these listeners? These listeners are generally known as the interfaces. In we can say Java's language, they are the interfaces which are responsible to handle the event. So, these listeners, so now let me tell you that if you are talking about button, for example, then for button there is, if we click on button, then button generates, triggers an action event, which is which event? Action event. If with respect to button, it is an action event. So, for when button generates an action event, so for that there should be a corresponding listener for the action event. So, in Java x.swing.event, we can say in java.awt.event package, there are different event classes for the different, we can say, listeners, and for listeners different classes are there. So, for event action event class, there is a action listener, which continuously listens for the action event, and whenever a button fires an action event, then the action listener will listen, get the notification and handle the event. But the question once again remains the same, that how the action listener will get notifications from the action events. So, for that the particular listener has to register with the source. That means, which is the source in our case? In our case, the button is the source of event. So, suppose let us have a example, button B is equal to new button. So, B is an object, B is a source of an event. So, we have to write B dot add action listener with respect to the particular class in which we are handling the event. So, we will pass this as an argument, that this refers the same class in which we are handling the event. So, B dot add action listener, the add action listener, that means we are registering the action listener with a particular source called B. So, in this the statement B dot add action listener indicates that the registration is taking place between the action listener and the source of the action, that is B. So, this registration makes it possible that whenever a B button is clicked or it will be clicked, it will send a notification. The button will, registered button will send a notifications to the registered listener. In our case, it is action listener. So, when button B will be clicked, it will send a notifications to the registered listener, action listener, and at the same time the action listener will invoke the corresponding method to handle the particular action event. So, this is what the event delegation model is. So, generally event delegation model makes a swing environment more popular and efficient, as it provides all kinds of event delegation, event handling mechanisms. So, this is all I have just discussed about action event, but there are number of, we can say, swing components, and for different swing components there are different events and different event listeners. So, let me have an example, like for item there is a item listener, and item event is there. For we can say check item event is fired when checkbox is there, radio button is there, then checkbox is clicked, radio button is checked or unchecked, checkbox is checked or unchecked, list is there. So, for such kind of things we can say checkbox and radio button, item event is fired, and for item event there is a item listener. Same way for if the scroll bar is there, then the scroll adjustable listener is then adjustable event is fired. For mouse we can say there is a mouse event, and for the mouse event there is a mouse motion listener and mouse listener. Okay, there are two things most important. When mouse is dragged and mouse is moved, it fires mouse event, but for handler of the mouse event, for this two kind of event, mouse dragged and mouse moved, it is a mouse motion listener which is responsible to handle these two event, while in others mouse entered, mouse we can say exited, mouse over, mouse out, for such kind of events there is a mouse listener. Similarly, there is a key event for the keyboard kind of things. So, for key event there is a key listener. So, if we want to handle the keyboard event, we have to implement key listeners. As I told you that these listeners are the interfaces, and interfaces are going to be implemented. So, in our class definition we have to write something like this. If we want to handle a particular event, suppose action event, then we will write public class name will be a test. You can provide any other name, but we are taking test. Public class test implements action listener, as we are going to handle the action event. So, we will implement action listener, it is an interface. So, implements action listener, and then after we will provide a definition implementation of these listeners, and as we all know that interfaces are the collection of abstract methods. So, they have their abstract methods. So, action listener interface contains abstract methods called action performed. So, we have to define that method, we have to override that method in our class test to provide the event handling mechanism. So, this is all about, we can say, event delegation model. Now, with examples we will try to understand that how do we create a GUI based application using the Swing components, and also how do we handle the event. So, let us have a look on the, this is the first simple program in which we are just creating a button. Now, here let us see what happens. We have imported, see the first line of the program, we are importing java x.swing package. Okay. So, this will allow us to create the components of Swing like JButton, JFrame, JTextField, as they all belongs to Swing. Now, under the we can say class name public class button test. Button test is a class name. Under that we have a main method public static void main, in which we are creating the object of JFrame. JFrame is our container. So, we are using a JFrame as our main container, and we have passed a argument, that is button example. So, that will display it as a, we can say, title of a container, that button example is there. Then we are creating a component JTextField and JButton, and we are adding this both. See, this add method is a method of container, add is a method of container. So, our container is a JFrame. So, we are using the object of JFrame f to add this controls text field and button we have created, and then after we are we can say providing the size of our container. Right now we are providing the size 400 by 400, and then after we are setting, see the layout, we are setting layout as a flow layout of our container f.set layout, and then after we are setting, making our container visible, as we have to make, as it's a Swing container, it's a, we can say, purely developed in Java. So, we will make it visible by passing a boolean argument true. So, once we will pass true argument, the container will be visible to the user. Now, let us test how it is going to work out. First of all, we will compile the program that we have created by using the javac command, and then after pass the our class name button test.java. So, it is successfully compiled. Now, we will run it using the java command. We can see from the GUI container that this is a button example at the topmost level of the container. Button example is the argument that we have passed to our JFrame container, and then after we have created a text field with a 30 size, and we can say a button having a caption click. So, this is a simple demo of Swing components that we have created. Okay, for understanding this, for same way we can create the checkbox, we can create radio button and other controls you can. Now, in the next program we will see the event handling, mechanism. So, let us have a look in that program. The same way we have here used the package java.aw.event, as all event classes and listener are will be derived from this package, while the Swing package is there for creating the Swing components. In the same this program we are creating the text field and button as well, as we have seen in previous example. Here we are creating the constructor and passing one argument to that constructor. So, whenever the class, okay, in a main method we are creating the class of button event, we are initializing this, we can say, button our button action event class with a JFrame instance. Okay, so here we are creating a JFrame instance and we are initializing it with our button action event class. Then after we are setting the size of container, layout set we are used, as I told you that we are manually arranging the components. So, I set the layout null, and at the same time when we are setting the layout null, that means we are using set bounds method. See, of a text field as we have created set bounds method, we are passing this pixel xy coordinates, that where I want to display this text field. The same way for button, I am using the b dot set layout, and I am passing the pixel and so xy coordinates. Then after, so once we have arranged, created and added the components on the container, now I want to handle the event. So, what I am doing here is that, see this highlighted portion, I have selected that b dot add action listener, in bracket I am passing this as an argument. So, what happens here, that I am registering this button B with the action listener, which I have implemented here, implements action listener. So, I implemented action listener over here. So, once I will do this, what it means, that I have registered my source with the listener, So, whenever, then after I am simply adding the controls button and text fields to the container, Now, what will happen when I will run and click on the button registered button, it is registered with action listener, it will notify to the action listener that the event is triggered. So, action listener will do what? It will call its method action performed, that the action is triggered. So, it's your task to handle the event. So, action perform method do what? It will simply perform the task as we have written in that method. So, in here what is the, we can say, logic of action method is that we are simply getting the text field, that text we have entered in the text field using the text field method get text, and we are setting it in the, we can say, text field as well with the same value, with the message of welcome to BAOU. Let us see what happens. First compile the program. Now run the program. So, here the same text field is there and button is there. Now, let us enter the value, that Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. We are entering the value like this in a text field. Now, we will click on the button, click. So, when we click on the button, what happens? It displays the message welcome to BAOU and BAOU. That means, this is, see here we have written text field dot set text method, and within the set text we have written the message welcome to BAOU, and then after we are appending another string with using the plus as a, we can say, a concatenating object. So, and we are adding this st object. St is a string object, in that we are retrieving the value which have entered in the text field using the get text method. So, ultimately what happens here, when we clicking on the button does what? It simply notifies the registered listener, and registered listener invokes its method action performed, and action performed method simply performs the task of getting the text from the text field and display it again in the same text field with the welcome message. So, this is all about action event handling mechanism. In same way, you can write your own listeners in your programs for different kinds of events. So, I hope that throughout this session you might have understood that what is swing, how swing differs from AWT, why swing components are known as lightweight components, what kind of components controls we can create using the swing package, and how do we handle the event in a different, we can say, scenario if we want to handle with different components. So, based on the components, controls or source, you have to write the listener and you have to register the listener with the source to handle the event. So, this is all about a swing application and event handling with the swing applications. I hope you might have enjoyed the session and you would have a knowledge regarding the swing, its component, GUI, basic creation with the help of swing components, and event handling mechanism, that how do we handle the event using the action, we can say, the source and listeners. So, this is all about swing components, event and event handling and event delegation model using with the help of swing components. Thank you.
स्वाध्यायः परमम्